Zatanna's darkest secret revealed. Once upon a time that was and was not. When skeleton-veiled eyes dripped star-birthing tears, the princesses Allura held each other close for the first time. Once one and now two, a sister of light and a sister of shadow. Yet despite their physical embrace, the sisters' hearts were severed by magic, and now further apart than ever before. With no more light to balance out her dark, the sister of shadow's heart turned rotten and sank into primordial chaos. The two sisters needed each other. However, the archmage of the village would not listen and banished the sister of shadow to a realm far, far away. The sister of shadow could do nothing but curse the archmage with all her rotten heart. A curse that would haunt the archmage and her family to the bitter end and beyond. Some weeks ago, the archmage Cindella died before I could have my revenge, as did her lover, Giovanni Zatanna. Their daughter, Zatanna, is now the only one who can pay the equal suffering that is owed, and she will pay. Princess Allura says, "I sympathize with your plight. I have suffered a similar transgression." Inside the Crimson Palace nightclub, Allura states, "That said, I have never been accused of possessing an abundance of altruism." Lady White replies, "I lost everything to escape damnation and find a blessed death, only to be ripped back to this accursed existence. Can you return the peace my soul aches for?" Allura tells her, "Unfortunately, that is too much even for me, Lady White. However, I can offer you emancipation from that disgusting cretin's hold on you." Lady White asks, "Did he ever tell you what this is, in between the self-aggrandizing diatribes?" "No." Allura says, "That collar that keeps you at his beck and call is elementary blood magic. I can easily get rid of it." Lady White grits her teeth and exclaims, "This thing is the only reason why I haven't bitten right through Brother Knight's throat. What do you want me to do? Follow me." Allura stands before Leviatine, a weapon crafted by the god of mischief, Loki, out of his own tongue. As elusive as the trickster himself, it can take many forms and split into infinite copies of itself. Strike someone with its blade and you can implant a lie that they cannot help but believe. A well-crafted lie will latch onto one's core, the deepest part of oneself, and turn it into a poison that corrodes until there's absolutely nothing left. This will be the means of my revenge, and in turn, your freedom. So, Lady White, do we have a deal? Lady White remarks, "It seems we do. It seems we do." Now Lady White stands over Eldon, grasping Leviatine as she remarks, "Oh, Eldon, how I've been waiting for this moment, but no rush. I'll make sure to take all the time I need to savor this." Allura responds, "Ha! Is that supposed to be a threat? Besides, you won't have much time before the magician finds her way back." Allura says, "Please, Eldon." Leviatine has shattered Zatanna's soul into pieces. All that's left is to find each pathetic fragment and grind them to dust beneath my heel. Eldon grabs Leviatine and cackles, "You absolute idiots. Lady White, my darling, do you hate me so much that you believe anything you're told without question? You have no idea what Allura is. You have only traded my leash for a carrion noose. And Allura? You think that was simply Zatanna's soul-shattering? Stop deceiving yourself. No, that was a magician preparing her next trick. And while premature," Eldon shouts, "awaken, O forgotten goddess of crimson hunger. I offer you these bodies and souls plump with carnal desire." The club-goers scream in pain. Lady White exclaims, "What the hell is this?" Eldon yells, "And if you accept, take me into your embrace, that I may bask in your majesty." Lady White cries out, "No! Don't you dare run from me, Peck. Feed, feed, so that this offering may be a drop in your infinitely toothed maw." Lady White pleads, "Leave him, Lady White. We need to save ourselves." Eldon remarks, "Tesk, tesk. I'm gone for 5 minutes and I come back to this mess?" Zatanna retorts, "Allura, I should have known your putrid fingers were stirring the pot. But since you've finally shown yourself, why not stay and enjoy the show? For one night only, a special comeback performance, I proudly present to you." With a burst of magical energy, Zatanna utters, "Anatas aratas DNA reish esitsuj eliguail, evil ta 8 iroshis pret DNA ertahat." Bobo chimes in, Good to see you back to your old self, Z. The crew cheers. Glad you did, Bobo, and Ragman focus on getting as many people out as you can. With that, the group cheers. On it. From above, Wonder Woman remarks, "We're here for you, Zatanna. Everyone to aid and action." Madame Xanadu chimes in, "Zatanna! There is a wickedness deep in this place, but it appears to not have fully awakened yet." Zatanna replies, "Good, Madame Xanadu. I want you and Dr. Fate to keep it that way. Getting digested is not part of tonight's show." Dr. Fate remarks, "Diana, you're with me. Adam is somewhere in the mess and we need to find." Etrigan shouts, "I once tore skin from bone and ripped your flesh open. Took my trophy, your throne, proof of victory well chosen. Once again, war horns are blown. Let our gluttony for blood soak in." Wonder Woman exclaims, "No ripping open flesh, Etrigan. Just hold him down for me." Etrigan responds, "Boo. Why did Blood Day even to answer your summon if you refuse to let me engage in some fun?" Wonder Woman tells her, "I've got him." Voila, Zatanna. Zatanna speaks magic. Deselb Osseltho Htert, Avigam Rui Dia, Sa I Retner Yuld, Sliv Denim, DNA, Lepsid 8 Sale, Delay HTU. Dan asks, "Zatanna? What so is what Levatine's showing you? I'm so sorry I got you into this. You were only trying to help, but I still." Dan exclaims, "No, I deserve this. Ever since I put on the demon-skin suit, I haven't been able to set foot inside a church for years. My eyes burn at the sight of a cross. I pray, and only hell answers. The Blue Devil was a test of faith, and my faith crumbled. Now this is my penance." Zatanna tells him, "You're wrong, Dan." Dan replies, "I've seen so much good in your heart, so much humor and kindness. You turned the demon skin of Nibiros into Blue Devil, the hero." Dan utters, "I wish I could believe that." Zatanna remarks, "You can. Just have a little faith." Zatanna greets Dan with, "Welcome back, Dan." Dan replies, "Thanks, Helluva Hangover." Etrigan says, "I came for a fight, but now my foe sits unfit." Zatanna tells Etrigan, "Get him to safety, and you two can arm wrestle once this is all over. If ale you can provide, then said contest I will permit." Wonder Woman tells Zatanna, "Be on guard, Zatanna." Allura calls for Z and is replied to with, "See, told you." Zatanna asks Wonder Woman, "You have my back, Diana?" Wonder Woman replies without question. Zatanna thinks to herself, "Oh, Zatanna, Zatanna, Zatanna." Allura asks, "Why won't you just die?" Lady White scoffs, "I had to axe that trick from the set list. It'd all tear you apart." Zatanna remarks, "Yikes, let me guess." Allura exclaims, "Zatanna, the vampire! What haunting whispers do you think Levatine has for you?" Wonder Woman replies, "I'm curious, Wonder Woman. As long as I draw breath, I will shatter all falsehoods." Allura screams, "No, my Levatine!" Zatanna remarks, "Huh!" Allura exclaims, Annoying little brat." Zatanna tells herself, "I need to wrap this up and find Adam." Lady White retorts, "The boy is the least of your concerns right now, magician." Lady White shrieks, "What is this, Clayface?" He making amends. Zatanna tells Clayface, "Bravo, bravo! A flawless performance, Basil. Ever considered a career in stage magic? Expect a call from my manager. Now, Lady White, you have my number." Clayface magically says, "Eruiton neo equina, irewina." Lady White remarks, "Damn it." Clayface says to Zatanna, "Wrap us up, airtight." "Ooh, yes, Ms. Zatara. Nothing is getting in or out." Lady White asks, "What?" This is, she finds herself standing before a quaint lakeside village under a wintry sky, the spectral image of a white-clad woman standing on a dock. She recognizes the assembly of spirits on the dock. An older, bearded man stands next to a smiling woman in winter garb. Lady White remarks, "It can't be." Zatanna chimes in, "So, that must be your coven? Seems like a sweet memory." Lady White cries out, "What are you doing? You have no right." Zatanna speaks magic and eyes the true cost of making a deal with Allura. She is a parasite, a dark elemental of pure negative emotion. She latches onto a host and feeds on their memories, their magic, leaving behind a soulless husk. Allura responds, "Tesk, Zatanna, always ruining my fun. And you wonder why I hate you so much." Allura continues her story of a lie. The princess was one of her victims. The two of them took to each other so deeply they practically became one. My mother was tasked with excising the parasite and saving the princess, the most perfect soul I ever tasted. Oh, that princess would have satiated me for an eternity. Then that story about being a twin princess and your mother separating them. Alas, that wretched Cinderella owes me a soul, but seeing as she's too dead to pay, let the daughter inherit the mother's sin. Zatanna chants, "Aror lua niar niwod, DNA toward 8 crod sigum." Allura retorts, "Ha! Are paltry parlor tricks all you have, Zatanna? Sorry, but I need to talk to the lady actually in charge here." Lady White whispers, "Trevny." What? Zatanna responds, "Lady White, you had a deal with Allura, right? Here's a counteroffer. We temporarily call a truce and you take back control of your life once and for all." Allura replies, "No strings? No strings." Lady White remarks, "Finally, a fair deal." Allura grumbles, "Ugh, I hate losing. You can uphold your deal, continue to fight me, and I put you down," or Lady White yells, "Levaten." How? The problem with lies. It's easy to lose track of one courtesy of Basil Carlo. Allura exclaims, "So what? You think that will stop me? There is no lie that can end my hatred for you and your damned family." Zatanna exclaims, "Then how about the truth? For all your plans, for all your schemes, for all your lies and tricks, you have never and will never prevail against me. Do you want to know why, Allura?" Allura replies, "Herc." Zatanna chants magic. Off the Italian coast, Zatanna remarks, "This view is stunning. I can see why you'd want to come here. Actually, this lighthouse means a lot to me. One of the only memories I have of both my mother and father together happened here. They brought me here after a show, and I was in a real bad mood. I wanted ice cream and was kicking up a big stink about not having any. Somehow, through my incoherent whining and babbling, I managed to say the word gelato backward with enough meaning that 3 giant scoops fell from the sky. It's also the memory Levatine latched onto and defiled, same as Allura and that lake house of yours." In the present day, Lady White states, "Oh, I'm sorry." Zatanna responds, "I can't forgive you, Lady White, but I can recognize that you were preyed upon and manipulated by Allura and Brother Knight. I hope that by talking like this, laying all our cards on the table, we can avoid escalating the conflict between us." Lady White asks, "Fine, then may I ask, what happened to Allura?" Zatanna replies, Wasn't expecting that to be your first question. Here, I'll introduce you." Zatanna chants, "Emok Erea, Arula." "That's her." Zatanna says, "Yup. Meet Allura, a harmless little spirit." Lady White remarks, "She is very cute." Allura says, "Meow." "That's fair enough. Your turn. Do you know anything about Adam's whereabouts?" Lady White states, "I do not." Zatanna thinks to herself, "Leavatine's power isn't absolute. If I can break out, someone as tenacious as her will find a way too. The way I see it, better to keep her close than risk her scheming in the shadows again and again." Besides, Zatanna and Wonder Woman stand amongst the wounded in the Crimson Palace. Wonder Woman states, "He went missing in the aftermath of the fight. No one in my team could locate him with any kind of scrying or divination magic." Zatanna thinks to herself, "I find it extremely unlikely that Adam could just disappear in the state he was in without any external aid, so I'll ask you again." Lady White retorts, "Do you know anything about Adam's whereabouts? I have not seen your undead protege." "Fine, your question. How have you dealt with the Crimson Palace? Do you really care about the club, or are you just after Brother Knight?" "Both. The Crimson Palace is in the care of a friend, away from prying eyes, until we discover exactly what it is. As for Brother Knight, he's still inside its walls. We don't know what that means for him or the palace." "Then let me leave you with a warning, Zatanna Zatara. I have no quarrel with you, but will tear through anything and anyone to get to Brother Knight." Zatanna remarks, "Well, I may still have a quarrel with you." Etrigan asks, "You're letting her go?" Zatanna replies, "Things are raw right now. pushing would only lead to another fight. I'm banking on calmer minds finding a more peaceful solution in the future. And if they can't, then I know a big blue musclehead who's got my back. Etrigan replies, "Damned right." Zatanna responds, "Besides, we do have a show to put on." Attendance. It's been a minute since the Oblivion Bar was this packed. Bobo's gonna have my head for leaving Trike and him alone for so long. Zatanna smiles. "Well, let's not keep them waiting much longer." Zatanna says, "Magic. Ert, Out Owl, Eno,